Good afternoon.
So we are Ian and Jane, and we are sadly no longer at Edinburgh. We've been back in Somerset for a few days, and we always do a couple of follow-up videos. So we do our top 10, which we've just done, but we also like to try and include things that we've not been able to go and see. Conversations we've had with people, and we've really had a look and tried to fit them in, and we just haven't been able to do it. So this is that show.
Yes, so we've got, we said these are not in any order either, because obviously we didn't see the shows. But we picked, I said we should pick 10 each of shows, and there may be some crossover. But as you'll find out if you watch the other video,
I've already failed with
Jane
the
had
top
14 in her top 10. I did manage to tick it to 10.
And I've got 14. Well, it's supposed to be 10 again, and it's supposed to be 14.
So I have got 10. So because you've got so many, you better start. I'll let you go.
So they are in no particular order. It's just how I've written them down. So
we'll try and say I'll do a quick search for them as well, because I don't know what Jane's going to pick.
So this has already finished, but it was, and we did have a chat to the guy, and I was intrigued, but we just couldn't get there. This was a play by John. What's it about? Drawing parallels to Beckett's Godot and Pinter's Dumbwaiter, this production transforms Surgeons Hall into a workshop where Matteo and Reggie build coffins to take their own lives. Laced with comedy, the show explores themes of identity, trust, authority and power amidst today's political turmoil and societal unrest. Discerning the truth has never been more challenging. And their main piece of set was a very large wooden box, which was a coffin. And we saw them sort of manhandling this
around the space venue. In fact, they actually manhandled it outside at one point.
They were flying with it.
Yeah.
And so it was Mark who we saw.
Yeah, it's Mark that I'd had a conversation with before, and I said we were going to try and get to it. We didn't, sadly.
But we didn't. But anyway, we will keep this, so we know of you. Yeah. So that's that one.
So my first choice, and we were scheduled to see this, which was Control Alt Deceit. The story follows dowdy, kind, trusting, lonely, technologically naive Aunt June, desperate to connect with her niece Andy. Andy suggests that June fills her time instead of finding friendships online. And what happened in the end was we actually even had tickets at one point, but we suddenly realised that the show we were seeing before, we couldn't get there in time because it was a trek from one space venue to another space venue, and we didn't want to come into the show leave one show early, which is what we would have done, and then arrive at that show and come in late. So we just didn't get to see it, but it was on our schedule right from the beginning. Is that on yours or not?
No.
No, right.
No,
I think it was my choice.
No,
so sadly, we didn't get to that. And it's by. It is still on. It's the Space, Nidri Street Upper Theatre, and I don't know if you can tell me how much it is. Not without buying a ticket. I can't. They're usually between probably about £12, aren't they? Usually, but something. Yeah. No, it won't let me off the app without actually buying the ticket.
Okay.
So
another one from me is My Grandmother's Eye Patch,
that wasn't on mine.
which this lady in riding gear with a basically a hobby horse, and we
spoke with a conversation.
We did have a conversation with her.
The zoo. She's at the zoo playground.
Lady called Julia van der Veen, and it's still on till Sunday the 25th at 12:45 at the zoo playground, and it just it doesn't really tell you what it's about. It just says it's a masterclass in cringe comedy, made me laugh harder than any other Fringe show, and she's won various awards, and it just her approach just
She seemed lovely, and
yeah,
actually,
so-
this happened while we were on our way back from the Fringe, but their team, PR company, whoever they are, did contact us about going to see it. Sadly, and sadly we can't.
But again, it's one that's on our radar.
It is.
So,
yes.
yeah. Okay.
So my next one.
Yeah.
Now this shows a show. We been at the Fringe when it was on, we would have gone. Simple as that. And that's Eric Davison's amazing Prime Parodies. 26 songs to make ... is what it says on the Fringe app. 26 songs to... Oh yeah, I can see it. 26 songs to make the whole world cringe. Now, we discovered Eric 3 years ago.
21.
21.
Because it was the year that it wasn't on, but it was. Yeah.
And we've seen it. We've gone to Eric's show ever since. A bit like when we've gone to see Trevor Locke, really. Eric writes these incredibly funny songs and he plays them with a ukulele, and he can be very political, but he's wonderful. In fact, he sent me a message before the Fringe saying, "Were we going to be there?" And I said yes. And when I told him, he wasn't there for the whole Fringe. He only started after we'd left, really. So
19th, I think he starts.
Yeah,
I think it starts tomorrow.
Sadly the Fringe app doesn't tell me when.
I'm sure it was the 19th.
When it says Monday. Oh, here we are. Hang on, sorry. If I could use. Yes, starts tomorrow. And it looks like it's sold out for the 21st because that's all in red, but it's on until the 24th. So if you've never seen Eric, go see him. He's fantastic. And if we were up in Edinburgh, we would be beating a path to the show and then going for a drink with him afterwards, probably. Definitely, yeah, because he's great. He's really funny. He's fantastic. Yeah. But we'll see you next year, Eric.
Yeah, we will. Right, my next one is Sessions, which was handed to us, was it?
It was handed to us, yeah.
We were just in the street, weren't we? Or was it?
I can't
was it
quite
at
remember. Where was it at?
Well, it's Zoo Playground. So, yeah, he must have come up to us. Anyway,
sorry to interrupt, but I didn't say where Eric was.
Oh,
I should say at least where.
He's at Space, isn't he?
He's at Space. Oh, yeah. And actually, it says here, 5 stars from Sinners Review, YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
Space at Surgeons Hall. I've just found it.
So Sessions was handed to us by a young man. And I'll just read you what it's about. How do you escape a trap you didn't know was there? 17-year-old John Boucher has narrowly avoided a prison sentence for a violent offence. Burying his trauma under drink and drugs, he meets his new youth officer David, who approaches him in a way that no one else has before. Sessions is a play about the confines of toxic masculinity, which aims to grapple with how trauma lives in the body and how, when it goes unaddressed, it manifests into our behaviours and habits. And we've seen a few productions which have been around similar themes, not the same, and we found them, with a young cast, and they've always been very powerful. So I was very taken. But it's on, and it's still on. So it's on at Zoo Playground at 2:20 in the afternoon, which we were usually, either just coming out or going into something, and we couldn't get to see it, but I carried it around with me. And so we, again, it's one that I will keep hold of. So they've won some awards as well, and part of its funding is Arts Council, so that's great. But so Sessions.
My next one, I can't remember if this is my choice or yours, but the Bookbinder. Was this?
I've got this. I've got this.
Okay.
Dan, it was one of mine.
He was one of Jenny's, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So now you haven't got long to see this. There's only 2 more performances, but that's later on this week because today's Sunday, so we'll get to that. But it says they say you can get lost in a good book, but the worst is to get lost in a bad one. Trick of the Light's award-winning dark fairy tale returns to the Fringe to celebrate its 10th anniversary with a limited season in an atmospheric bookshop, which sounded brilliant, actually.
That's right.
Even if you don't get to see it this year, it sounds like it comes back year on year. So the Bookbinder, they're from New Zealand. now the dates are Thursday the 22nd and Friday the 23rd. So it's not on until the end of this week. And it's in, lose that, go away. It's actually in the, I can't pronounce that. Becca.
Oh gosh, Buccleuch
Terrace, the Till's Bookshop. It's BUCCLEUCH Terrace, and in Till's Bookshop. So look up Till's Bookshop.
Yeah, so it's site specific. So it's absolutely up our street.
Yeah.
And but we weren't there.
We weren't there. Yeah.
No.
But I think you'd picked that.
I had already picked
right
that,
at the beginning, because we might not. I can't remember if you've actually said this before. We obviously do things differently. Jane always does the paper. I do on the app and on the website. But actually, we put things in the schedule, knowing full well that we might not get to see them, or we might not get tickets, or whatever. Actually, so there are sort of 2 or 3 comedy things that we'd applied for tickets for, and we didn't get them, so we filled it with other shows. Next one from you.
Right, so my next one is Grandma's Shop, which I had picked up prior to the to going. Step inside Hilda's shop in 1980s Sheffield, a nostalgic world of old carrier bags, pulls, coupons and vintage clothes, presided over by an unlikely punk icon. Join Hilda's granddaughter for a solo show about family history subverting expectations. Julie Flower presents a multi-character comedy drama about clothes, cats and counterculture. And I just like the idea of its, history associated with people's belongings, memorabilia, all that kind of thing. And so that rather grabbed me.
It sounded like a good thing. I mean, like I say, it was on the schedule. It's just we didn't get to it.
So this is still on till the 26th of August. So it's on at 12:20 in the middle of the day, and it's on at the Gilded Balloon, which is the Pater House in the Snug. Pater House. Though it's pronounced, it has house here, but actually it should be Hoos.
Because I think the sign says Pater Hoos.
It does indeed.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah. My next one was one that Jane wasn't particularly interested in, and it was on right from the beginning, but we just never got up to Summerfield this year at all. Summer Hall, sorry. I mean, and there is a perception, because I was talking to somebody about this, about the perception that Summer Hall is a long way away. It isn't. It's probably about a 7-minute walk from the main area. So it's not. It's not a long way. We just never got up there for any shows this year, and that was Arcade. Now this is done by the Darkfield company, and they do their stuff in shipping containers. They had 2 this year. One was Flight, which we saw last year. And this was Arcade. So Arcade is the latest immersive audio experience from Darkfield, using the nostalgic aesthetic of the 1980s video games. So it definitely sounded my sort of thing. I know you weren't that bothered by it. I mean, I generally really quite like their work. Not everything is as successful. The one in the hotel one, I can't remember what it's called now.
No, I can't remember what it's called.
Wasn't that successful, I don't think. The one in Flight is very, very good. And there was another one that we went to as well. Anyway, but they're certainly, they're always there at the Fringe, and they use difference. They put the shipping containers wherever they can. They only have, like I say, they had one at Bristol Square this time and one up at Summer Hall. But no, I would have definitely wanted to see that. It may be there next year, and if it is, I will go and see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
Oh, sorry. Yes. It is. Oops. It says I'm offline, but I'm not. Sorry, the app's just crashed. That's not good, is it?
Should we come back to
No, I'm here. I've got it, it's sort of, right, so it is on. Now, it's only half an hour, and there's several times throughout the day. So, I mean, if I was there now, I could go. It starts at 3:15, so it's on until right the way through the Fringe until the 26th. I don't know how much it is, but I can't tell off this. But yeah, and there'll be. I think the show goes on until about 9 o'clock in the evening. So it'll almost be like every other half an hour, I think, throughout. So there's lots of opportunities to see it.
Yeah. Okay. Right, my next one is called Songs for a Brave New World, and this is on the Free Fringe at the Fingers Piano Bar.
Oh yes.
And this gentleman was flyering outside the Fingers Piano Bar while we were going to look for somewhere to film. That's a whole nother story, so we won't go there. Anyway, we got into a great conversation with him, and so he does sort of cabaret type. Well, when I say that, it's piano playing, but it's lyrics. It's the lyrics. And he actually meant we were talking about various people, and then he said, were we familiar with Tom Lehrer? Yes.
Yeah, we had a whole conversation.
So we had a conversation. So when we knew that he was sort of Tom Lehrer type, then we were very interested.
And if you don't know who Tom Lehrer is, go on YouTube. Go and look him up on YouTube. Don't leave us now, but after you finish the video, go and look up Tom Lehrer. He's amazing.
Yeah.
I think he's still alive as well, actually.
Because he and the gentleman's name, Richard, was telling us that he did recently release all of the back catalogue.
Yes,
it may
true.
not be for free now, but it was for a while.
So that you could play the songs. All the sheet music.
You could see all the lyrics.
And,
We're very lucky because we picked up a book once.
Yeah.
Second hand, and we've got all the lyrics.
And we've got the CDs and the vinyl records as well.
Yeah. But I won't spoil it for you.
No.
But yeah, if you like that type of thing, like Richard Stilgoe, Victoria Wood, Kit and the Widow, if anybody remembers them, Fascinating Aida, we would like to see this guy, and again, I'm going to keep hold of it.
He's messaged me actually, so
good. So he's still on, and he's on at 4:20 in the afternoon till the 25th.
Cool.
Okay.
My next one, and I don't know where we got this one from, but I don't know if it's you or me, but Freak Out, Contemporary Theatre.
No, it's not.
It's not you, right? So this Vault Festival Show of the Week nominee tells the story of UK communities losing their homes to coastal erosion. So it must have been me then, not them. Performed by a company of 7, high energy theatrical cocktail blends, clowning, physical theatre and live art. It is still on. It's on until the 26th. The only day it's not on is the 22nd. But yes, it was on our schedule to look. Freak Out. Okay, and where's it at? It's at the Pleasantstone Jack Dome. Okay. Right.
Okay, my next one is something called Loft Luggage.
Oh yeah.
Which was the same lady that we saw Loft Clearance, and we did make it to that.
Yeah.
But this was her sort of. She said it's a sort of slightly, the story a bit further on is how she described it to us, because we had a chat. And we both enjoyed Loft Clearance very much, but again, we just couldn't get there. So sorry, I thought you were going.
Oh no, I thought you haven't got.
I've got the pages, so I can do. I can do the pages.
Easier. It's quicker on the app.
249. Oh, I bet now read it.
Right.
Can I get to it? 249 before Ian does. Yes, I can.
Actually, I put Loft in and it's come up with. I can't find anything.
So it's spoken word. It is on at Greenside, George Street. And sadly it's not on anymore. It finished yesterday. Right, that's a shame. But Eileen Mahoney. So we enjoyed your other show.
She may be touring it.
She may well be there again
next year
doing it, so we might catch up with her that time. Okay.
Yeah, it would be good to see. Okay.
Yeah.
My next one, I think this was your choice. Is
yes,
TERF.
It was.
TERF.
Yeah, but sadly, it's not. It's actually not on my list.
No.
Anyway.
So it says Civil Disobedience Theatre of Existential Void. whatever that means. Joe led a blessed life, literary phenomenon, cultural icon, and beloved, completely beloved, until everything went to hell in a broom basket.
Yeah.
So anyway, doesn't really say much more than that, but and it does say there are some warnings that contains distressing and potentially triggering themes, contains strong language.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, I know nothing about it. It is still on. It's on until the 25th. Do you want to say why you picked it? And I'll tell you where it's on. It's on the ballroom at Assembly Rooms.
Well, I would have to
go back and find
my.
Don't worry.
Hold on. Well, we can do that quickly. Here we go. Actually, I've got it as a question mark.
Well, one of Jane's question marks means that she's not sure about it.
Well, shall I read it? What it says?
Go on
Because
then.
I think it's slightly because this is what it says in the program, which is what I went by. Joanne Rowling, obviously J.K. Rowling, was the most beloved author of all time until everything went to hell in a broom basket. We all know how. It's time to know why. See the play. Even the bravest venues were too afraid to programme. And these, this is.
That sounds it. Why doesn't that? Why doesn't it
exactly.
say that here?
Well, I was going to say your description. I'm thinking, why did I? I question mark this because it's one of those areas that a lot of us, this. I mean, I'm going to be
the culture, cancel culture.
Yeah, the cancel culture, the woke thing, and I was sort of interested in how they might tackle it. That was my interest.
Right.
No, that it's just being contemporary, but the production was tackling something very, very contemporary, and I was just interested.
It was.
In that.
I mean, yes, and
purely out of interest.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and you picked it at the beginning, so I would have. I actually
I
added it to the schedule. It's just we never got there.
Yeah.
Your next one.
Okay, my next one is Beryl Cook, A Private View.
Oh God.
Now Beryl is not my. She's not my favourite artist.
Do you know, for viewers, do you know who Beryl Cook is? She was an artist that did. How can you describe her art? Her paintings.
Well, they're mostly large ladies.
Yeah.
Comic. Yeah. But she's very popular, and they get used as cards. They're works of art in their own right. She's very popular, and you can just imagine what a kind of character she is.
Mm-hmm.
So that was where I was coming from. So it's new writing, painting. An exclusive hour with our national treasure, the late great artist Beryl Cook, played by Cara Wilson. Sit in Beryl's studio, listen to her stories and watch her paint. And I just thought, I don't know an awful lot about her, and I just thought it might be quite amusing.
Yeah. You might have gone on your own to that one.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I really didn't fancy that at all.
Anyway,
that wasn't for me.
That's why I picked it.
Right.
So it is still on until the 25th. It's not on tomorrow, and it is on at 2:05 in the afternoon at the Pleasance Courtyard in the attic.
Cool. The next one from me is Trevor Locke, Let's Start a Cult. Now, in our last video, our top 10, we did get to go to Trevor's other show, which was Audience Anonymous.
Yeah.
And we were desperately trying to get to see Let's Start a Cult as well.
Yeah.
It's on the Free Fringe. If you've never seen Trevor, go to either show. He's very funny. Yeah. It's on the Free Fringe, and when is it on? It's free, non-ticketed in the Voodoo Rooms. Now, when it says free, non-ticketed, that doesn't mean to say that it's free. And technically, if you don't like it, then it is free, and you can leave. And he actually, certainly on the other show, he said that if you leave by 3, if you leave by 3 o'clock, that's fine. Otherwise, you need to pay. So there'll be a hat round, or there's a thing at the end where you can put in what you like. If you haven't got much money, put in a couple of quid. The going rate would be a £5 or a £10, I think, like any sort of show. So yes, we hopefully he'll do it next year, and we'll try and get to see him. And he does perform. He does tour, so you may be able to get to see it in London or around. Check him out, follow him on the socials to find out where he's performing next. Okay.
Right, my next one we've already discussed. It was the Bookbinder.
Oh yeah.
But I've also got the History of Paper.
This seems
this is still on. So, a postcard, an origami rose, an unexpected letter, a musical love story about a man, a woman, and the pieces of paper that make up a life. And anything about sort of paper grabs me. It was on, or is on, at the Travers Theatre, and it's a co-production between the Dundee Rep Theatre and Travers. And I was just going on that, to be quite honest. And then we did actually bump into somebody who'd seen it, a gentleman.
Oh, that's right, yes.
And I said, no, it's on our radar, because I had marked it. And he said that he and his wife were in tears at the end of it.
Sounds like it was really good.
So it did sound that it was really good, but again, sadly, we didn't get there. So at the Travers Theatre on till the 25th, and it is on at oh dear gosh, the times are all over the place.
Oh well, in that case, then the best thing to do is just check it up.
Gosh, I cannot tell you, they're all over the place. Yeah, so you do need to have a look at it.
Yeah,
it's an hour and 20 long.
It's slightly longer than a lot of the shows.
But even this week, I can see 3 different times for it. So you're going to have to look it up. The History of Paper.
We're nearly there. I've only got 3 more left, but you've probably
got a few more.
You've got 10. Anyway, the next one from me is Bill's 44th, and we heard things about this, and I had this down.
Did we?
Yeah. Well, I think I'd picked it. It's puppets, and we're people who like puppets. So Bill's 44th, the tragicomedy hit Bill's 44th makes a triumphant return to Edinburgh Festival Fringe. Performed by critically acclaimed puppeteers duo Andy Manjuk and Dorothy James. And then we've got some reviews. There was a bit of a buzz around it. I kept hearing about Bill's 44th, and we were trying to get to it. It is still on. It's 1 hour. It's on until the 25th. It's actually sold out tomorrow with the 19th. But it looks like there's tickets for every other day. And it is at the Underbelly Cowgate Belly Button, which is where we saw a few shows in there.
Yep, we did.
And it's on at 5 to 7 in the evening.
Okay.
1855.
Okay, right. My next one is A Cup of Tea with George Eliot.
Oh yeah.
Join Victorian author George Eliot for a cup of tea and a piece of cake in this one-woman show celebrating her life, world and her work. Complimentary cup of tea and cake provided. And I just love one-woman shows about real people. And, obviously they don't make it up, it's researched, but you often learn something about it. That person, or you'd learn a bit more about their life that you didn't know. That kind of thing I'm always really interested in, and of course it is already finished, but never mind. But again, hopefully it might be back next year.
You may get a chance to see it if it's yours.
Yeah, but that was on my list. Yep.
Okay, because this isn't really 10, it's 20, isn't it? Because it's 20 plus.
Yeah, 27.
So, right, yeah.
Sorry,
there aren't many.
No, we'll try and whiz through.
So, my last 2, and we saw this guy last 2 years actually.
Aidan. Yes.
Aidan Sadler, and this show was called Melody. So it's comedy musical. It says comedy musical comedy anyway, but it's cabaret and variety. Now, Aidan is a force of nature.
Yep.
He's brilliant. Like I say, we've got no idea what this show's about, but we know we'd have loved it. We just never got there. So sorry, Aidan, if you see this. You were on our schedule from day one. We just never got there. It's on until the end of the Fringe. And this is partly why we want to come for the whole month, really, because we would get to see more of these things. It's on until the 25th. But but not tomorrow, not the 19th. He doesn't do Mondays. And it's on at the Voodoo Rooms, the Ballroom.
Okay. Right, now this one was a gentleman that came up to us and pitched his show.
The space thing.
Yeah.
Actually, it's worth mentioning about that.
Oh no, it wasn't. No. We started chatting to him the previous week. I can't remember where we were. But anyway, it's Did You Mean to Fall Like That? And he just was very engaging. And
were you on your own?
No, it was both of us. That gentleman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote it down actually on the front, and then I found it in here. So it's new writing. It is still on. Charlie played by the rules, chose the right woman, the right job. His life has unravelled, and he's starting again, unexpectedly falling for a man for the first time. And it's his story. I really, really wanted to try and get to see this.
Okay.
But we didn't manage it. Pleasance Courtyard, Bunker 3. It's on until the 25th, and it is on at 11:35
in the morning.
In the morning, yeah.
Right.
11:35 in the morning. Yeah.
Cool. How many more you got?
3.
Well, give me 2, and then I'll do my last one, and then you'll do yours.
One of mine was Don Quixote.
Well,
which I just anyway bias.
I didn't want to see Don Quixote. Sorry, nothing.
Yeah.
But
and let's just check if it's still on. Yes, it is still on. I think it's the Red Nose Company, Finland. It's a Finland touring company, and it's obviously the story of Don Quixote. And it is on till the 25th. And it is on at 2:30 in the afternoon at the Assembly Rooms Bijou. And then I also found...
Well, you did pick that right at the beginning, and and
you always said...
I always said that I didn't fancy it, and nothing against that, but and you could have gone, had we had capacity, we don't very often do split shows, but we have in the past done things where you've gone to one thing and I've gone to something else, then we'll talk about each of those shows. Yeah. And we're not against doing that occasionally, but that's not fundamentally what we do.
We prefer not to.
And Jenny, you could have quite happily gone to that, and I would have gone to something else. Yeah.
And my last 2 are sort of fairly self-explanatory, really. One was Dylan Thomas, Return Journey.
Oh yeah.
And it's storytelling and poetry, and it's thrilling lyrical journey. Oh, that's a quote. They're all actually, just tell you that they're all quotes. Bob Kingdom's passionate, unpretentious personification of Dylan Thomas, seamlessly directed by Anthony Hopkins.
Okay.
And that is on till the 26th, on at Pleasance Courtyard upstairs, and it is at various times, so you need to check the times.
Okay.
And then my last one is, and then I'm finished, was, again, it's one of these one-woman shows that I like, and it is a good one to end on. Elizabeth I in her own words. Intrigue, betrayal, danger, step into the turbulent world, and it's not on, I've just noticed the date it's finished, but anyway. Turbulent world of Elizabeth I, a canny ruler, the personal letters of the Virgin Queen intertwined with Shakespeare's words, provide a captivating peek into her innermost thoughts, and it was on at Space.
Amazingly, my last show as well isn't on. It's finished. So this is Amelia Baylor, and I don't think I had told you all this. It's called Easy Second Album, comedy brackets musical comedy stand up. Okay, Amelia Baylor, who was the best newcomer Scottish Comedy Awards, is a one-woman mission to make musical comedy cool again. That's a quote from Rolling Stone. Once described as a snack food new rave pioneer by the Scotsman. These are all just quotes, aren't they? What's the show about? I thought it was about her making an album, but it doesn't actually tell me that.
You might have read that somewhere else.
I have read it somewhere else, because this is just full of quotes.
You're probably in here.
Probably in there. It'll tell you what. Yeah. So here's a tip. going to write a show, don't just fill your information with full of quotes from reviews.
Tell us what it's about.
Tell us what it's about, because the title isn't enough.
Now that's interesting, because you wouldn't have got from that. You wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have gone. I've read it somewhere else.
Yeah. You wouldn't. I've looked
it up I've looked it up, and I'm sure it was about her making a second album. And I thought, it's comedy, but that looks interesting.
So you could choose to carry this around.
I wouldn't. Because I tell you why.
I do.
I tell you why. Because literally every venue you go to, there's a pile of them. You can just grab one, look up what you need to look up, and then leave it for somebody else.
Yeah, but it's your copy.
But actually, I have to say, I quite like the way that Jane's is. I mean, my copy is pristine and will go in recycling.
And you
because
can put
I have
things in it.
But Jane's copy is well used and well thumbed, and is actually slightly dog-eared and
coming apart. Anyway.
But that's it.
Right,
so that's it. We're finished. There might be a couple of odd little pieces of video coming out of just our experience, but no more review videos for this year. That doesn't mean to say that we won't do the odd other review as they come up. We may pop into London and review some stuff if asked. So we're not, you may see us before then. The channel reverts back to sort of more music and synthesizer type stuff from now on.
And I will not be there.
And Janie will not be there. Although I need to drag her. I mean, I have been told by one of the people watching the synthesizer stuff that it's a better channel when Jane's on it. So
the trouble is, I have absolutely no knowledge of electronic
but that doesn't matter.
Gadgets.
You live with me, darling.
I know.
That's the problem.
I know.
So thanks so much for watching, and thanks for all the lovely comments that we've had, and it's been really nice. We did bump into a couple of people who watched our stuff, so it was lovely to meet them. There was another couple of people who have followed us for a while, Phil and forgot the name.
Oh, the lady in America.
Yeah, sorry, I apologise. Yeah. We didn't get to see them this year, but I mean that was scheduling conflicts. We were trying to just meet up to say hello and have a cup of tea.
And I've just spotted the bag down there, but I don't think we've got time to do those because they were the things that people gave to us.
No, it's a long video as it is. Yeah, so it is. Unless you want to do another video, a separate video with it. No, I don't. We were given. Is this from a space thing? Well, actually, it's worth mentioning that because we did do. Oh, I didn't put my lanyard on.
No, not that.
So our lanyards are there with our anyway. We did do the space press meet week 2. Interestingly enough, I filmed some of those interactions. They are going up daily onto TikTok. Now that I've become a TikTok influencer. That's a joke, by the way. So if you're on TikTok, Ian John Cole, I think it is, not Ian J. Cole, on TikTok, you can see some of those people pitching some of these shows at us or to us. And I may put them all together in one video.
Right, that'll probably be better
on YouTube, actually.
Yeah, that would be better.
But I didn't film all of them. I literally couldn't film all of them, but I filmed some of them, so you'll be able to see some of them. I mean, I remember that was the Johnson thing, wasn't it? He seems to upset everybody because he's steady.
Oh yes.
You can talk about Boris Johnson, and he actually upset everybody there because he's steady character the whole time. Anyway, that's another side. Yeah. So thanks so much for watching.
Okay, cheerio.
See you next time.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.